They are legends of horror, unstoppable killers who have haunted nightmares for decades. But behind the blood, behind the mask, and behind the endless carnage lie stories of suffering, neglect, and tragedy. Jason Voorhees was born in 1946, a child marked by tragedy from the very beginning. Jason suffered from severe deformities and developmental disabilities. His physical appearance made him the target of consistent ridicule and cruelty from other children. His only protector in life was his mother, Pamela Voorhees, who loved him more than anything. But one fateful summer day, Jason's life took a horrifying turn. While other children mocked him, he was left unsupervised near Crystal Lake. He struggled in the water, calling for help. The camp counselors, too busy indulging in their own desires, failed to save him. Jason drowned alone. His mother was consumed with grief, and grief turned to rage. Pamela Voorhees unleashed her vengeance upon the camp staff, setting the stage for one of horror's most enduring legacies. But Jason's story did not end at the bottom of the lake. Whether by supernatural force or sheer will, Jason returned, a broken, vengeful figure who would kill in his mother's name. What makes Jason terrifying isn't just his brutality, it's the fact that he was once just a bullied, neglected child who was failed by the people meant to protect him. If Jason is a story of neglect, Leatherface is a story of abuse and manipulation. Inspired loosely by real-life murderer Ed Gein, Leatherface's fictional origins come from the backwoods of Texas. Born Thomas Hewitt in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake timeline, or simply as Leatherface in the original 1974 film, his story changes depending on the version told, but one theme remains the same. Leatherface was never his own man. He was a prisoner of family. Leatherface was born with a disfigured face and mental disabilities, which made him the target of cruelty from the outside world. But the worst cruelty came from inside his own home. His cannibalistic family used him as both a tool and a weapon. They forced him to kill, to butcher, and to obey. His iconic mask, stitched from the skin of his victims, were more than just costumes. They were his way of hiding, of becoming someone else. Because he never had the chance to become himself, Leatherface wasn't born a monster, he was made into one by a cycle of abuse, neglect, and manipulation. His chainsaw, his rage, his violence are the only language he was ever taught. Beneath the mask is not a sadistic killer with a choice, but a broken man, desperate to please the family who twisted him into the thing we fear. If Jason and Leatherface were born into tragedy, Freddy Krueger represents something darker. The monster shaped by trauma who embraced his evil. Freddy's backstory is one of the most disturbing in horror. Born to Amanda Krueger, a nun who was accidentally locked in a mental institution and assaulted by countless inmates. Freddy was known as the bastard son of 100 maniacs. His childhood was filled with torment. He grew up an outcast, beaten by his foster father, mocked by other kids, and rejected by society. But while Jason and Leatherface's pain could inspire sympathy, Freddy took a darker path. He began torturing animals as a child, indulging in violence as an escape from his own suffering. As an adult, he became the Springwood slasher, murdering children in his small town. When the law failed to convict him due to a technicality, the enraged parents of Springwood took justice in their own hands, burning him alive in his boiler room. But Freddy didn't die, he was reborn, fueled by vengeance and given the power to invade dreams. Unlike Jason and Leatherface, Krueger chose to embrace the darkness. His tragic past shaped him, but instead of breaking free, he became a nightmare personified. Jason Voorhees, a child abandoned and left to die. Leatherface, a victim molded into a killer by a sadistic family. Freddy Krueger, a boy born of violence who embraced evil as his destiny. Behind every slasher's terrifying mask lies a story not just of horror, but of tragedy. They remind us that monsters aren't always born, sometimes they're created. So which slasher's origin story do you find the most tragic? And watch the video on screen to see how long Jason Voorhees' prison sentence would be if he were arrested in real life.